Great. Okay, Sean's going to talk us through the paediatric bronchoscope.
Okay. It usually comes in a set like this, and you'll have lots of different bits and pieces, with 2 levels to it, with the grasping instruments below, and then the scopes and the endoscope on the top. These are basically all the equipment that you'll need, and we'll show you using this how to assemble and how to use the bronchoscope. So the first thing to get is roughly the size. Based on the size of the child, you need to size out what bronchoscope you need. So this is a size 6, which has an internal diameter of 7.5. You can find those the store's bronchoscope chart online, and we suggest you do that if you do have to do this in an emergency. So these are the different bronchoscopes. You can see they have different widths, so the internal diameter, as well as lengths. Okay, so this is a very small one. This is a size 2.5. And so the smaller, shorter bronchoscopes require a shorter 0-degree Hopkins rod. And these are the Hopkins rods, or the endoscopes. They come in a plastic sheath. You just rotate them and then pull them out. Okay, they're very delicate because they're quite thin, but that's a 0-degree Hopkins rod there, and they've got different diameters and lengths as well. For this video, we'll use a larger one because it's slightly more robust and you'll be able to see it easier. So again, this is the larger diameter and length, 0-degree, it will say there, which means the lens looks directly out. Okay, so what you're seeing is directly in front of you, and there's no angle on it. Okay, and that's that there. The other equipment that you'll need, for example, if you're doing this in an emergency, is removing a coin or a foreign body that a child has inhaled, or a peanut, for example. You need some optical grasping forceps. The reason they're called optical grasping forceps are that they can grab different types of foreign bodies, and you have ones for peanut and ones for coins, and essentially foreign body specific grasping forceps. And the optical is because you can put the 0-degree Hopkins rod in through them, and when you insert it with a light lead adapter facing upwards. Okay, that's the correct orientation, and then you have a lock here, as you do on all of the stores kit, and then you just rotate the lock anti-clockwise until that tab is also facing up, and then it's locked in. And when you attach your light source here, you'll be able to look through the end of the endoscope, and you'll get an image, which we'll insert into this video, an image of just the lenses just there. So you get an image just shy, or just proximal to the actual grasping forceps, so you're able to get a very good view, whether you want to do it eyeballing it or put it onto a camera. Okay. Carry on. Right. Okay. Onto the bronchoscope itself. So we'll take this out for now. So this is the paediatric bronchoscope. Once you've got the right size, this is a ventilating bronchoscope. So the orientation should be like this, okay? So the bevel is on the right side, and the reason it's called ventilating is that the anaesthetic circuit is on your left side if you're facing the patient, and you can ventilate the patient whilst doing your surgical intervention, whilst removing the foreign body. Okay, so yeah. So this will be the anaesthetic circuit, okay, and the anaesthetist will set this up. This is essentially the last thing you attach, so you can attach the anaesthetic circuit to the left side here, and that fits on just like it just fits on basically onto all of these bronchoscopes. That is essentially the last step you do before you insert the bronchoscope. So we'll show you how to set up the bronchoscope and arrange it first. So the first thing is the light prism, okay. This is a prism where you attach the light lead, the light goes in through here, there's a prism, and it shines the light down the scope. The different gradients of where you can insert it. So basically that's fully in, halfway in, and then out. Okay.
And why do you need it halfway in sometimes?
So halfway in, if you're going to use the optical grasping forceps down the bronchoscope, if you have it fully in, where it's shining a light down via the prism, you will actually block the full caliber of the bronchoscope, so you need to pull it out before you actually introduce any instruments. And then the next thing is the bridge. Again, this is what you need to attach any instruments. So attach the bridge, tab facing down, and then again that you just push that on, and it just clicks into place like that. Okay, and then this is the bridge through which you attach your endoscope.
Why do you need a bridge? It's actually so that your light, when you go down the end of it, once it's in the bridge, it won't go beyond the end of your scope. Oh, yes. So it won't go beyond the end. So now if we take the bridge off, and we reinsert our light down there, then it will go beyond the end of the bronchoscope. So it's a safety. It's there for safety, so that you know that you're not going to damage anything further on, so you can have a much better understanding of the depth.
So to assemble the bronchoscope, you attach the bridge, tab facing downwards, and it just clicks into place. Okay, so now your bridge is on. Again, the tab facing upwards near to you so that the lock is open. You can now put your 0-degree endoscope in through there. Okay, and you'd have to try and line up the notches. So, but to remember is that your light source should be facing to the right as per on the bronchoscope and also on the endoscope. So put that in, and then just rotate this lock clockwise, and it will click into place, and you'll be able to feel that. Okay, so now the whole assembly is essentially secure and locked into place, and this is when you can now insert the bronchoscope. Actually, before you do that, attach the light source as well. So make sure that the light lead is attached into the light source. You have good illumination, and at this point, you want to put the light source directly onto the endoscope, not onto the bronchoscope, because of course your endoscope is now going through the bronchoscope. There's no light coming from this light bridge. So that is the assembly you want set up when you go to diagnose and have basically to do a bronchoscopy for diagnosis. The other piece is for the side port, which is typically used for suction. There's a 0 on the adapter there, and that lines up with a 0 on the side port there as well. Okay, so you just push that on. There you go, and that will click into place. There's a rubber bung on here. This comes in a separate small pack, but it's all in the same set. Essentially what that does is you put that over the port, okay, and that will minimize any loss of anesthetic gases back out through the side port. And you can insert either suction catheter through here, or even finer flexible endoscopic instruments, which are also available in this set. Sorry, a base plate. This essentially, again, just pushes onto the back of the bronchoscope, and you have a variety of adapters to view. So you can either view through it, it's slidable, so you can view directly down the bronchoscope itself. You have an open port with a rubber bung on it. Again, you have to put the rubber bung on yourself, through which you can insert your optical grasping forceps, and you have a variety of other openings to be able to manipulate down through the bronchoscope.